Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. My God, what a first game from the ROX Tigers. The damage figures being topped by the Sion when there's a Tristana and a Zoe in the game. Nuts.
Need to ban the Sion. Need to ban the Sion. Lindarang's got more, but yep, this Sion was just choo-choo training his way all the way to a victory. It was so easy for the ROX Tigers. Clean, refreshingly straightforward, fantastic play. It wasn't like they overwhelmed them with contested picks in the draft. They got the Zoe, sure, but the playstyle, taking the Tristana that's not popular in Korea, putting it together with the Olaf that's clearly going to become popular in Korea with how many strategies it shuts down. Varus, free food. Skarner, no real use against the Olaf. Been a really great pick for them, and it's a great game coming through.
So one caveat that might be there for that damage chart, the Bramble Vest damage, does that get registered as him dealing it to the enemies?
Yes.
So, okay. So that's where probably a significant portion of that damage does come from, is Eternal is just trying to wail away on him, but he doesn't win the MVP, even though he has the highest damage output at the end. It's going to be Lava. Deathless here with this Zoe.
This roam was another big reason they were able to overtake the top lane so easily. The QSS first Zoe, where we said, what about some more offensive itemization to crush lane? He just crushed a side lane with the QSS and was so relentlessly aggressive. That was his play style. By the end, everyone deserved an MVP from ROX Tigers. Such was the team decision working. Great zoning around the Baron take. I thought, okay, maybe this will be where they fall down. And that's the weird thing about ROX. You look at their players and say, well, it all has to come to an end at some point, right? They don't have the superstars. Where's Deft? Where's FLICKR? Where's the big names? They don't have them, but they're creating new names like Lava, who has been the breakout star of spring 2018. And they're taking names along the list. They weren't able to beat SKT, easily beaten by them, but then they go forward and they beat KT Rolster, and they could go 4-0 this week against decent opposition.
Interesting, cheerful there. Reminding me of some old tilting spam we used to have, so hopefully we can avoid that. But BBQ, they would like to avoid a repeat of game number 1. No swap going to be coming through. Trick still in the booth. Going to have a different strategy. A very different one coming into game number 2 here. And maybe even have to ban away things like the Sion, like the Olaf, that they would rather be able to leave on the board and focus on things such as the Zoe, the Kalista, the Skarner that we saw yet again from their first draft.
Now, they are on blue side, so you have that latitude to ban away things. However, if you're banning away, let's say, pocket picks on the blue side, you best believe there's going to be some sick double picks on the red side as an answer to whatever you first pick. So playing with fire, you can get burned. And if ROX can draw pocket bans and then win standard, that's when you say, I wonder where they can get in playoffs, because they seem playoffs bound after games like game 1.
Well, ROX very high in spirits, as you would expect. Lava especially so after winning that MVP. BBQ, they're the ones that have to try to recover. You can see still some smiles on the faces here, still messing around, playing with each other's headset mics there. But the preparation for this, what is the coach going to bring out as we go into the second round, is my biggest question, and why I'm excited to get into this draft. It seems like we're going to have a hang-up here as the coaches haven't entered the booths yet.
We haven't received any word from Andy on Mumble, but
Could
we'll
be
wait and see.
A toilet issue, perhaps.
Sometimes it is. Waiting to hear the way forward. We're ready for some more League of Legends. Been 3 interesting games so far today. Even Kongdu Monster controlling the first 20 minutes of their second game against Kingzone. You're right. People in the booth. There's Eris. He's going to have to open up the notebook. They need any help they can get against the team of ROX Tigers.
Probably wishing he had a second notebook to back him up right now. But either way, ROX, something about this team. Not much has changed coming into the 2018 season.
And everything has changed.
Yeah, exactly. At the same time, everything is different, and Olaf will be the first ban by BBQ.
Yeah, Trick was probably the first one to request that. It really did mean that there was not much he could do. For me, what BBQ needs to do is if they're going to ban Olaf, you already know now there's going to be 2 very powerful picks open on red side. This is when I want to see their planned draft around a pick. When it comes to meta picks, it feels like you need to be able to engineer a draft on blue side that complements the first pick. We see Zoe drafts, for example. We see Galio drafts. You need to be able to do that here if you're BBQ, rather than just taking what's strong. Because ROX Tigers have already shown they can put together something out of seemingly very little. So I need to see what BBQ can do if they're willing to ban Olaf, Tahm Kench on blue side. There's going to be just a bonanza of picks on the red side.
So far, hard to see any real strategy outside of getting rid of those pesky picks that we saw from the ROX Tigers. And Zoe will be self-banned here by ROX, so Talia may be something that they want to reach for Lava.
If I'm ROX Tigers, I just ban easy-to-execute comps. A Galio comp, for example, will be the safest ban. Now, they might just leave it open and show us a counter strategy. But if I'm ROX Tigers and I look at BBQ, you know they're going to be desperate after game one. You ban the Galio last and you say, there's still strong stuff, but you can't just go for a pylon comp with Camille and Galio and just try to win in the most simple of fashions. See what ROX's read is, though. They have a second draft that's as inventive as the first draft, then I'm willing to see it, even if it leaves open something like the Galio.
We saw them ban away in the first game. GP here, the final by BBQ, so could just go for the Galio yet again.
It's the ban I would like to see, and that is the ban they give. So now the easiest to execute comp, which is definitely Galio Camille, is not going to be able to be pieced together. So BBQ, they will still get a power pick. They will still get the Skarner, and this is Skarner with a lot of coverage because I like Zach and Olaf specifically into the Skarner. Both of them are taken out, so the pick comp power when Tahm Kench, Olaf, and Zach are removed is higher than ever with the Skarner. We've seen Skarner not set up to succeed in recent games. Maybe this will be the one to remind us why it is so highly contested. But Sejuani can definitely be the team fighting answer to the Skarner.
Well, the Kalista going to come through here for Sangyoon.
Could be Rakan to go with it, because remember, Xayah Rakan was available. Yep. And it feels like if you don't take Rakan, that will be what BBQ draft on blue side.
Let's see if they want to split them up. Go right in between that happy marriage here for the ROX Tigers. And yeah, it seems like that's going to happen.
I think that was an adaptation where they realized there's a chance we give away Skarner and Xayah Rakan, which feels like you're just winning in draft. Even though there's, of course, plenty of counterplay to that duo. Varus Braum would be a powerful bot lane duo on the blue side, and the Varus is the most obvious choice. Feels like Skarner and Varus are stoked that Olaf is banned, because both of them can be used at previously full expectation of their usability in the game. The coach is talking to Ghost about what needs to happen in this game, and also to potentially Tempt to look at the draft here. It felt like there would have been a potential Leona in game one, but they went for the Alistar for a bit more of IgNar comfort. It's still comfort on the Leona. They're hovering it for a long time, and a first-round Leona for the first time in forever.
Very surprising. See that one come through. So Braum just going to be completely passed up on. ROX now, maybe just foregoing the Talia for now. Maybe we'll see that banned away in the second round, as ROX would have the first pick. Just go ahead and lock down the jungle here for SeongHwan, looking for something a lot more standard with the Sejuani.
Man, if you press R on someone, they're stunned and so dead on the side of BBQ with Leona, Varus, and Skarner. Potential of clicking all your buttons and not being able to do anything for a good 5 seconds. So that's a bit terrifying if you're the side of ROX. Predictably, they will go the way of Sejuani first round to have their own pick power and a bit more teamfight oomph than the Skarner's usually able to provide. But so far, I see engage versus pick and engage in general. So everyone's looking to fight in this game in the first round. As we move to the second round, you'll notice a Syndra ban and might think, okay, there's been very little Syndra around the world. Recently, there's been quite a lot of Syndra play in the LCK, and it's been winning also. So the Syndra taken away. It's also a very strong lane into Ryze and Talia. So you see a Syndra ban and you think, okay, maybe we need to double ban mid lane on the blue side. So the Talia already is going to be banned away. Won't see Lava on that pick. Wonder if there will be a Ryze ban by BBQ.
Well, ROX for now have the ball in their court. They're taking their time with this one, but they're actually going to be the ones that ban the Ryze. So not interested in locking that one in for themselves.
I wonder what the mid lane pick will be for Lava. Could be something like the Corki. They want something ultra safe to farm out, and one of the better champions are getting away from the incoming Skarner. Lava's champion pool, if you're looking at most played with the bans so far, the Azir would be the tier list choice and also is most played, but be a pretty stable choice. They're going to ban away the Gnar as well, so Sangyoon could be drafted here. Then you could just counterpick in this particular situation. So the Sangyoon was the one champion that contributed heavily to game one that wasn't taken away. We'll see if they're going to prize a Azir or take the Scion and wait. To me, those are the two different reads for what ROX is going to do. And they're going to prize the Azir and then re-evaluate when it comes to Scion for Lindarang.
Well, with that one off the board for now here for ROX, would be very shocked at all to see Crazy pick that one up, have that just standard top laner. Consistency there.
Is this going to be Corki Scion into Ornn and then the draft's over? That would be the most meta thing ever.
Polar opposite of game one.
I'd love to see the Scion draft come in on blue side and then Lindarang lock in the Trundle and just roll it back.
Give me the top lane Blitzcrank. Let's go.
You could definitely go reverse matchup here if you're ROX Tigers and wanted to roll the dice a bit, as IgNar is showing us his favorite before he locks in Ornn or Scion.
Yep, here we go. Looking like Corki Ornn.
Leaving open that Scion.
A bold move, and one that might come back to bite BBQ in the rear.
So are we going to Trundle into the Ornn, or are we going to Scion? Feels like the two options for ROX Tigers to close out the draft. Waiting with bated breath to know which one it is.
Both would be halfway decent. Scion perhaps avoiding ganks, but maybe we just...
Are we
shake
getting
things up a little bit more here as the Illaoi hover comes in.
Ooh, I mean, it could be knocked in. It's a good lane matchup. All right, we're going to see Illaoi into the Ornn. We saw that already attempted this week and going to a failure on the side of the Illaoi. So a surprise to see Illaoi return again. Lindarang building up confidence over time. He decides to shy away from what you know for sure would have been just an ultra tank matchup for ROX in previous seasons. Actually flex in the final pick on red side, doing his best Khan impression by bringing out a strong laner. It's going to be fun to see the Illaoi on the Rift again.
I think this is the first time that I'll actually be casting the Illaoi, so a bit of excitement, extra excitement here from me as they try to bring this one out. But a very bold move from the ROX Tigers, feeling good after that Game 1 victory. But need to avoid getting overconfident, so we'll see how this one is going to play out for these guys.
Fourth Illaoi ever, ADD, Rascal, and SeongHwan. Most recently, chain feeding on the Illaoi versus BBQ. Now we're going to see ROX Tigers try and flex on the Illaoi themselves. So 2 series in a row, Illaoi is picked against BBQ. Has to do better here. 0-7-5 was not the scoreline that SeongHwan is looking for.
Yeah, definitely wasn't a great showing there from the Illaoi and what is capable of being done with that pick. So Lindarang, again, so wildly improved this season. Can he make this one work? That's going to be the question we're looking to answer.
It also makes the draft really fun to talk about. We'll have to hold the point, though. We're almost ready to load into it. ROX Tigers looking to close it up.
Yeah, we should have plenty of time to go over it as we get into the early game here. BBQ Oliver's backs against the wall. Want to take this to game number 3. ROX Tigers looking to give us another 2-0 here tonight. Let's see if they can do it. BBQ fans still hanging in there, despite the Game 1 clapping that was handed to them by ROX.
We haven't had a clapping in the LCK quite like that one. It was just so different. It wasn't styling. It was just super smart plays. There's the science we alluded to earlier about frying the game. BBQ faithful here is, whoa, it's Tony the Tiger.
Yeah.
It's my favorite Tiger.
We're going to get sued now by Kellogg's.
Dentists don't like Frosties very much, though.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But let's talk about Illaoi, because Illaoi here is the one champion among the other 9 that says, actually, not interested in those 5v5s. He's the only one who's a true laner when it comes to all the advantages for Illaoi are loaded in the 1v1, or the 1v2, I guess, if the right gank turnaround comes. So Lindarang is kind of the only person on the Rift that wants to play away from the inevitable 5v5s, and that makes the game very interesting. So ROX have gone for a top laner that doesn't opt into the 5v5 wombo combo scaling double DPS that BBQ are trying to put out with their double range DPS, Corki and Varus. This one here for Lindarang is about just actually playing the side lane and trying to warp the game. The way I read at it is that you see BBQ and they're all about scaling. Rage Blade into the Corki featuring 2, 3 items and team fighting. Lindarang wants to get big enough in the side lane that he's going to once again force BBQ into lose-lose trades like in game 1, where whatever decision they made, it felt like ROX had the counter. It's like they knew in advance whether they were taking rock, paper, or scissors and would always win. Here, the Illaoi can represent that, or it can go like IgNar's attempt at playing Illaoi, where she's called into a team fight and it falls apart. So Illaoi is a fun champion to cast because it usually goes spectacularly well or poorly. There's no middle Illaoi game. So it's going to be fun to see how Lindarang does on his first time on the champ.
See there, IgNar doing his damnedest to get those wards down, but in the end, didn't net them much. Very few kills for BBQ in game number 1. And with this major pick potential from something like the Skarner, they would like to turn that around completely on its head and actually be able to lock people in and finish them off. SeongHwan very low on the HP, uses the smite, will get himself back up to a pretty stable spot, but not going to be looking at any early ganks here, at least until that first back.
Well, the lanes are specifically super tilted one way or the other. Even Illaoi early, once she had a couple levels before she gets 3 points into the Test of Spirit and really starts to get going on the E. E-Max is what we always see on the Illaoi. Is Trick doing some counter jungling. That's cool to see.
Yeah, just working his way up there very aggressively. Playing SeongHwan a bit. Sitting on a ward here for the moment. It's going to land the E, but that's about it.
Hey, he knows that feel. Was SeongHwan the previous game was throwing axes to stop recalls. So
that's true.
He's trying to get the Sejuani off the rift, and can't find any camps though because it was a full clear outside the Grump coming through from SeongHwan. It's Ornn in the early game and not patch 8.4 for his Bellows Breath. Take about the 700th nerf that it's gone through. The early trades very, very decent for the Ornn.
Lindarang trying to pop that there from the Test of Spirit, but can't quite finish it off. It's going to be a little while longer.
Is Kleptomancy on the Illaoi? You might be wondering. He's going for the ability to put together the fastest Black Cleaver known to man. When it comes to the other runes, double unsealed spellbook. So Sangyoon prizing the cleanse in this game. Will also have to, you'd imagine, invest in the QSS. So
yeah,
gonna have to be a lot of disengage. The cleanse makes the most sense because Leona is the ultimate champion to take cleanse out of. If you don't take cleanse, you have no time to flash with all the overlapping CC. But the QSS is still going to be needed against the Skarner.
Yeah, flash the Zenith Blade, get caught with the Flare.
And we talked about the CC, it's everywhere, but Skarner's bot lane and Sejuani is quite far away.
Yeah, they're pushing forward, but that's going to be the immediate flash away from the Zenith Blade there by Sangyoon. Keeps himself safe, but not in a position to trade any damage back in.
Not often is there. 3 unsealed spellbooks out of 4 in a bot lane, and IgNar is the only one to not be in on the party. No global playmaking for the Leona Aftershock to ensure that the Zenith Blade isn't just a one-way trip to the Death Chamber if it's turned around on. Leona lost Burst with the change to Aftershock, but the extra resists is still pretty happy times for her. But in the mid lane, farming. In the top lane, Illaoi still getting items together and getting Kleptomancy procs, so...
Still farming.
Yep. It's going to take a little while, but when the items start rolling in, I hope it's going to spice up a little bit.
Expect it to. Lindarang, when we first see that leap of faith come in, let's see just how much damage he can throw down onto somebody.
I see you've been practicing your Illaoi skill names.
Oh, you know. As soon as I saw it locked in, it was off to Google we went.
Illaoi skill names.
I haven't cast this yet, and I haven't played against it, so let's see.
It's only our 4th Illaoi in competitive play in Korea. As I mentioned, 3 different people have had a go at it. Only 1 and 2. And that was Rascal in a game where he kind of fed, but his team won anyway because lol King's Own. So we still haven't seen Illaoi warp a game like she often does in solo queue.
Trick. Going in for those invades, shoving SeongHwan away. Says, I can do this now. You know, Olaf. Lindarang just going to be delivering a nice little juicy wave here into the arms of Crazy as he waits back by the turret. Be happy to receive. We do have that Phage coming in already here, so we're getting closer. Ready for the tentacle smashes to start ripping them apart.
The way I want to see Trick play this game that right now isn't happening is, well, hold that point, IgNar is going for a bit of a damage rotation, is play around bot side, because consider where the lanes are at. Azir pretty happy into the Corki, does get some great harass off. You can bait out the aggressive soldiers. If the Corki walks up, there's always the chance of an impale, but difficult to pull off. You can try to gank Illaoi, but for now, it seems like they don't have enough damage to actually all-in her. The bot lane is the one lane where they can really wombo down and have a winning pressure lane. The strength of the Varus early in the game. But to me, that's the cleanest place to gank, but usually this champion on the screen draws the most global taunt pressure, short of a team.
Yeah, for now, Lindarang just going to harass out where he can. Will get popped up there. So Crazy doing decently in exchanging the damage back. CS going to be a little bit more rough around the edges there for him as he's currently down by 15. But he does have the Corrupting Potion there to match against Lindarang, so both of them going to be happily sustained in the top lane for quite some time. We actually see a roam down. Lindarang will pick up that honey fruit in the river, and looks like a blue buff takeaway here by SeongHwan.
Even simple things like that, say playing around pressure. We mentioned the bot lane gank I wanted to see, Trick 6.
E6, yeah.
He completely obliges, not going to be spotted, walking through a control ward. Now, they would have seen IgNar enter with a control ward and then enter that brush, so they probably know that it's likely to be bot side. They also have vision advanced of a lot of the camps on the top side, but only now do they respawn. So the fact that they will not see a Skarner on them does give them more than an inkling here. So ROX playing like they know about this. Nice deduction.
Yeah, good forward brush there from the ward.
The sort of play will be much less likely on future patches when it's only going to be the wards coming through from the trinket rather than the tracker's knife. Ward duration taking a big nerf, and be very interesting to see on 8.4 instantly how many people go for sweepers, because 3 sweepers is pretty common at the competitive level, but now with the lesser vision in the game, maybe you can't afford to go as much for vision denial.
Still a ways away from bursting down those little spirits, as you can see.
He's going to lane till he has Black Cleaver, and then things get more exciting for the Illaoi. So SeongHwan takes so many turret shots, because the only time he got in range of a Test of Spirit was under the enemy turret. You do take turret aggro. And for the autos there.
Blue buff handoff was there to Lindarang as well. So constant harass going to be coming down.
Do we see the all-in here? He knew Skarner was topside.
They get the charge. He's going to go ahead. Pop the leap of faith, trying to finish him off. That's going to be the charge coming in from the Call of the Forge God. He goes golden with the stopwatch. Does have the flash, but can he make it out of here? No. He is just going to go down. The tentacles get the smack, but it's not going to be enough healing. First blood goes over to BBQ.
Yeah, Lindarang showed pretty little situational awareness. He saw the Skarner on a ward move up, so would have made sense to disengage. I understand going for the Test of Spirit just to appear like you don't have the enemy jungler in vision, but the moment that he used his W aggressively onto the Test of Spirit, that was definitely too much over, and then he just wastes the stopwatch, apart from looking pretty cool being in mid-lead. That was unnecessary from Lindarang. Uncharacteristic mistake from him based on his 2018 form.
Now they're going to go ahead and lose this Rift Herald as they give up some of that presence there around the top side of the map. With a little bit of help from Tempt, they go ahead and finish that one off. Trick will pick up the trinket. They can use that. Go ahead and add that first turret gold in on top of the first blood.
It also feels bad because he came back with a Phage and noticed what he's bought. Everything except the Black Cleaver. I believe he's about 100 gold short. So just needed to be safe for one more minion wave and would have been able to walk away with the Black Cleaver. Now halfway between Merc Treads and the Black Cleaver. So even more time for Crazy to inch together basically every basic item you could ever want into a DPS matchup, sort of perhaps a Kindle Gem to have literally the random sampler. But he's very much building for lane, and he needs to. Holding down the Illaoi, trivializing her side lane pushes. Here we go.
Lockdown coming through, Zenith Blade connects, and there's just nothing that Key can do. Blown up, beautiful chain CC there from BBQ. Takes him down before he can even flash.
I think Key should also invest into the cleanse that you can see Sangyoon has already switched over to. Very, very common on Unsealed Spellbook playmaking supports to go cleanse, and he face checked with Ignite and died during CC duration, so that was no fun for him.
That's certainly not
and
bad.
there it is.
Times.
He went back and changed the cleanse instantly.
Ah, okay.
He was like, this Ignite's not going to work out.
I wasn't looking at that. I was looking at his items. Thought something surprising was going to come through. It was like QSS rush on the Rakan.
Nope, it's Ignite to cleanse. Need to do that earlier. Went for a face check with the Ignite. Well answered, is first time in a while Lindarang's been able to test Crazy's spirit towards his turret, but he's already kind of out of mana, so
yep.
desperately wants to get another shop in.
Go down on that. Oh, didn't kill it the first time. Let's try this again as I drag it closer to the tentacle.
So short.
It really is. It's a test of spirit. The new paddle star.
You know, it could use a 0.25 second nerf or two. But we say that, yet Illaoi has never been a meta champion in any region, so maybe just leave her strong. Never feels fun to lock in a tank and have to be dealing with Illaoi in solo queue, but value in competitive play is low. I know I'm not a big fan of nerfs just for solo queue, like the Xin Zhao. I understand why. Yeah. Competitive play represents an extremely small fraction of the overall player base, but yeah. Champions like Illaoi and Garen, good at lane. To me, that's fine.
Had a couple Garens in my games as of late. Been trying to play and climb back up. And surprisingly, they've done pretty well. I was always shocked. I'm always terrified when I see somebody lock in a Garen, and it was actually a jungle Garen that I had in my one game, and he popped off pretty hard.
How's that Wood 5 life treating you over there, Achilles?
Amazing. That's great.
Garen,
the Dregs of Silver.
Look, Garen against specific matchups like Riven is fine. He's very good into Riven, but Garen blind pick is when I draw the line. I'm like, really? You didn't have anything else in your champion pool? I know you own all the champions. We're in Korea. You're in a PC bang, you get access to every champion, so why the Garen?
Would take the blind Riven pick as well to possibly even set up for the Garen, so probably not going to be seeing him for a while.
Amazing J, known to pull him out once in a while. Got to cast one of his games when I was back in the LPL, but yes, that is definitely one where OGN will be kind of...
Does it count if it was picked in the LPL? I mean, they just had an Aatrox the other day.
Hey, Aatrox against some matchups pretty good, as the Rift Herald's going to be summoned deep in bot lane. SeongHwan already here to answer. Tempt has the teleport, so ROX should understand they could be outnumbered at a moment's notice.
Well,
Flash.
Should be the flash there from Sangyoon. Bates call to keep P safe. He goes in for the grand entrance. They get the lockdown. Slow there onto Ghost. He'll get popped. SeongHwan finds the kill. Rift Herald not even over to the turret yet, and it looks like it just won't even make it. Finally tries to set up for the charge, but the eye pops open. It gets taken down as ROX put one on the board.
Yeah, the teleport completion actually comes through from Lindarang. Very rarely do you see that as an Illaoi double cancel from BBQ. Seemed like BBQ was set up to win that play. They don't. It's a little outplay that gets a kill the way of ROX Tigers. This time they might actually pick up the turret with SeongHwan controlling the jungle. So out of nowhere, the game really does turn on as IgNar is in mid.
Well, Lava trying to get some damage there. On to Tempt, Ember's of Eye does come through as he tries to stay alive, flashes away, heal comes down as well. And he is just gonna fall. Tempt finds the kill, but it's gonna be ROX finding the turret. Crazy gets a lot of damage in onto the top tier 1, but not sure if he's going to be able to answer.
The answering kill in the mid lane. It is Corki on a turret with Leona, but even the three of them together are gonna mostly chunk this out and 3 men rotate from bot lane to mid. If they can get the top lane turret, that part at least feels good. For the side of BBQ, trying to punish ROX Tigers for completing the recall.
Yeah, he's got it. Lindarang just now getting there. Let's grab Tempt's spirit here for a second. He goes out of range, but no way of collapsing in onto him here for the moment. The tentacle gonna miss.
No shop either, so not gonna be at a power level required to actually do some massive DPS. Game still very finely poised.
Yeah.
No gold lead for either team.
Neck and neck.
You do look at an Illaoi game and say if it's even in gold at 15 minutes, probably a bad sign. So you would say that small advantages to the side of BBQ with the most engaged you could ever ask for. They went for Ornn over Sion to give them an extra ranged engage tool compared to Sion's just laning oppression. But there's a lot of options for ROX as well. They have good team fight. They just need to get something out of the Illaoi. Show us why the Illaoi was the way forward. This is the one game you look at and you say, there's so much CC in this game from both teams that maybe Illaoi's ultimate won't be disengaged like it is in 99% of scenarios.
ROX looking for the pick there on the Tempt, but he's got the package and is just fast enough to get himself away in time. Cloud Drake still sitting on the Rift here so far. 16.5 minutes in. No one really paying much attention to it until now as these wards come down.
So Death's Dance going to be the second item for Lindarang. Basically, Illaoi only item, short of some Graves games perhaps, when it comes to traditional builds. So ROX BBQ feel like they control the map, and they certainly have the scaling going on with the Corki. BBQ walking to try to zone. You see Ornn around the mid lane turret. They've won it now.
Yeah, he's off to the side. Of course, has that Call of the Forge God available, because it's always available.
Even after the nerfs, you are on the ball there, on the money.
Well, Trick going in. Not going to be able to get the Impale, though. Instead, just throws down that sweeper. They'll clear out the vision around the river here.
It's the first strike of the game, still unclaimed. It is a cloud. But now at least vision control for ROX Tigers. You'll probably say, well, let's just keep it there and get Illaoi back into a side lane to start split pushing again. First, it's going to be Crazy, though, that's on the run, given that he has teleport, and Lindarang already used his bot lane.
ROX going to go ahead and start this one up. Vision coming down as they take away the Spire as well. They've got the Kalista, they've got the Rend. Oh, this one is going to be going over. Tempt throws out the Hail Mary rocket, but to no avail. Won't be able to take it away. But Cloud Drake not going to be that big of a concern here for BBQ to give that up.
And BBQ are largely around 2 more items onto the Corki before they're going to fully turn on. Varus at a decent point of power, but Azir with a Nashor's Tooth and almost 2-item Kalista's not something to be trifled with, so probably smart to show some restraints. Only a Cloud Drake. Maybe the Mountain will be the place they actually contest in about 6 minutes' time. Would love a mid lane turret. They were able to largely prep this before, but not get any more chip damage onto it. Trying to take advantage of an Azir shop.
SeongHwan trying to sit up front here. Trying to get that passive off. They can't quite get it. It seems like ROX will be able to maintain control for the moment as Lindarang threatens from the side.
Able to zone away a couple of Demolish procs that would have done most of the damage as well, so smartly done. Lindarang finally can visit the side lane again as his teleport is back up.
He's got the War Hammer and the Cleaver ready to go.
See if SeongHwan will adjust his pathing and play around his longtime duo partner Lindarang. These guys, whether they're on the Afrika Freaks or ROX Tigers, have played together as a duo for multiple years now. It's always kind of a weird duality with the Illaoi where you say, okay, she wins lane. Does that mean that you build around her, gank for her, or do you leave her to win and then try to take advantages elsewhere and kind of accept that Illaoi will largely be baited into bad situations? Not really a consensus on that, but it does feel like this game, the Illaoi is the one asterisk to otherwise teamfight scaling dream on both blue and red side. I'd be inclined to actually give her some resources to work with, but now at least she's going to get a short lane to keep farming up.
Keep pushing in, going to find them. Vision control has been a major priority so far here by BBQ, constantly clearing out these wards along the river, whether it's in the top or the bottom side of the map. They have a very slight lead, only 600 some odd gold separating at the moment, but taking down this turret would help stretch that a little bit further. Lava tries to clear these out. See, BBQ, they don't want to overextend. They don't want to give Lava the potential stream a shuffle to set up for some kills, so they just will peel back and play it safe.
And while I can usually appreciate safety, it feels too safe. They prop Predator, why not prop the Ornn ultimate and take the turret with the zoning? Instead, they decided to just pop one and not fully commit. So another tool is down, the threat of the Skarner is lower, and Illaoi gets to spend more time in the side lane. There's definitely too safe. There are definitely teams that should take the 80, the 80-20 and don't, and now mid lane they're trying to punish.
Yeah, looking for the Fate's call there. Key will be able to dash away just in time to get away from Trick, and they'll lock him down actually as the Sejuani arrives. He goes low, gets the Impale onto SeongHwan, but he doesn't give a damn. They'll take him down. He'll find the killing blow. Another one on the board there for ROX, a second as yet again they tie up the gold.
You don't take the 80-20 and then a 50-50 from the enemy team can get a pretty big pressure lead. Lindarang can push up bot lane, they're able to get Baron control. BBQ should have taken the percentage play, didn't, and now there's many more headaches for them to consider.
I mean, Trick's got to be feeling pretty bad here. ROX, they completely missed the initial engage with the Fate's call, and he still gets punished for it. He goes down. No Baron, however, here for ROX. They haven't had vision control over that top side of the map, so even though the Skarner's gone, they can't find the opening. They also have to respect the poke from the Corki at this point.
Worry for BBQ though. They were in a really good spot a few minutes ago, and that hasn't changed. They should get the mid lane outer turret very soon. Every time I see ROX not actually have huge pressure in a side lane and punish BBQ when they're not strong, when they really are a little bit behind with the Illaoi largely being a passenger. Worry that BBQ are not taking the risks they need to. Kind of understandable after rolling over in game 1, but still the sort of thing that the highest level of competition, and that's something the LCK has traditionally represented, not go unpunished.
They would just love to take down that turret. It's just kind of staring them in the face, taunting them. They haven't been able to get into a position that they consider safe enough to just have the Corki auto at once with a Triforce proc.
They tried to go for a backdoor auto, but probably going to take about 3 or 4 of those and had to move away. Had the package, so I guess he felt he had the extra safety to walk up for autos. But now Tempt's being called topside. Back to mid. They have 3 river wards around the Baron that, for now at least, isn't really going to mean anything because they're not going to start the Baron and there's no top lane turret to actually take down. It's a bit wasted vision that it's going to be instantly cleared.
They will build a pushover, get the Spire as well.
I don't mind 1 control ward on Baron or 1 to potentially...
But when you put 3.
When you put 3, you're saying we want to control here for a reason. Taking Baron was not that reason, so that was a bit too much overkill. That means they are now down on control wards with just 1 on Trick.
Far Cry Hope. Deep TP coming in. Well, not that deep, actually, from the back. As Call the Forge God comes down. Lindarang going to try to survive. Goes up with a leap of faith, but he is just going to get burned through. Tempt shredding. What few defensive stats he has with that Gatling gun. They take him down.
Already got the vision controls. Very little else to profit. Now, Trick is trying to make a pressure where his team is not, so he needs to be defensive. Can't go for a 2-man gank bot lane and clear vision around Baron. That's how you get caught. So he'll move away. Just Illaoi things in the LCK. We've seen, as I mentioned, a 0.75 Illaoi this week, and this Illaoi largely about the zombie pushing and trying to get a lead elsewhere on the map.
It's like that 0 damage Tryndamere.
I mean, he does damage. He just can't kill anyone and gets ganked repeatedly.
I know. It's mostly just move the wave up in the side lane. Just keep doing that. He'll get ganked, and maybe that allows for ROX to create pressure elsewhere and go clear out that vision around the Baron. For now, though, it's going to be a Mountain Drake, as ROX are on pace to get 3 dragons in this game.
Very early smite, trusting in the rend. Fun thing to do here is to check your eye for the calculations on the rend on the lower pressure Drakes. Doesn't go 1-to-1 because of the different resists between the monsters, but still something you can do.
I realize that they didn't clear that ward. They all just kind of moved away from it. His lava just takes away the red buff. Very nice steal from him.
You continue to try to control vision around Baron. As you can tell, big priority for them, the 3 wards they had earlier. The ROX just walk up and say, how about this turret?
Yeah, thank you very much. I'll be looking for that one. Trick starting the cheap forward is stuck there in the front line.
Desperately doesn't want to use his cleanse. He knows there'll be a better time for that.
Yeah.
Ornn was called away, but predictably, Lindarang was not.
No one was close enough, so he felt safe to wait out the Chain of Corruption. And it was the best decision there by Key.
Now, SeongHwan walks up first, they get the turret. This is something we could have seen with the Ornn ultimate from the side of BBQ and didn't. So nice to see a smart, decisive play. That was the 80-20, and
235 HP remaining on that mid turret.
Feels like much more with how well they've defended it so far.
I mean, right now the silver lining for BBQ is that it doesn't regenerate. That's about it.
It's just one of those things where you consider this and you could sit back and say, well, what does it really mean? But to me, what it means is the fact they could have gotten a better shop earlier. 5 minutes ago, they could have had the extra gold to buy something. Also, think of the vision control you can get when you have the mid lane outer turret down that you couldn't for the past 5 minutes. While the game has been passive, you had less options because the turret hadn't been crashed. And it's hard to know if you would have been able to out-rotate or out-macro ROX Tigers with a turret advantage, and now something they'll never know after they are in a mid lane turret disadvantage against all logic.
Are keeping up, you know, very even, almost dead even right now, despite that tower discrepancy here for BBQ. So that is at least a slight reprieve for them, but just goes to show that they would be ahead if they had finished off that turret. Maybe that would give them a couple extra inches in trying to overcome the ROX Tigers here in game number 2.
Now even their play to control Baron looks very difficult. You have Varus clearing waves under the inner turret. Soon we're going to see Ornn clearing waves under the inner turret. ROX are happy to have Lindarang continue to push up. If they get a teleport from Tempt this time, Azir and Kalista are going to walk up to Baron and start shredding it.
Yeah.
So the chances to actually gank Illaoi in the bot lane are going to go down. You have to be super decisive and send the minimum in order to get those kills. So Illaoi's pressure she's creating by pushing without vision Reminds me of Huni at Worlds, where he would play Jace with no vision on his side, no jungle assistance, and play a role. Illaoi is still playing a role in this game because the other 4 members have been smart around objectives.
It's just a very slow whittle away at that bottom inner turret. Lindarang just goes ahead, forces it up. Everybody else from ROX Tigers, they cut over towards the Baron. The Ornn immediately starts going up towards the mid lane. Gets a little damage in onto the turret, and they just kind of rinse and repeat.
Now, the game does change when Warmox is finished on Sejuani, because then they can start the Baron, and
goodbye, turret.
You can actually do things. IgNar's had enough of this crap. Apparently not.
Oh,
they
no.
decide they can't do that.
No, I'm not willing to tank this for all of 3 seconds.
This tower has been like living on a prayer for a good 10 minutes, it feels like, at this point.
It's been a while since they chunked that one out.
The dream for the Illaoi is that SeongHwan gets Warmox, they start Baron, enemy team reacts, Ornn teleports, and then the Illaoi's like, I'll take your base then.
Oh, well, that's going to be Impale, call the 4-shot, not going to connect, but the Solar Flare comes down, and Lava will die. Emperor's Divide, way too late to try to save him, pops the heal as well. BBQ.
They've got it,
now we can take it!
Get in there! IgNar's like, we should skip the step.
Yeah. Please kill us before my passive procs. Nope, okay.
Boom!
Or Rune. Lindarang, however.
Now, 2 turrets are being threatened here by Crazy, who continues to walk up. He'll have ult in about 25 seconds.
They had to use so many ults to take that kill as well. Now they get a lot of damage in onto this turret. Crazy going to take up a little bit as they get a few more, but inner turret now down in the bottom lane. As Lindarang takes advantage of that little lapse of time that Crazy was gone.
And you can see that Tempt is not 100% sure whether he wins the all-in, so
yeah.
Won't be committing on the Illaoi, who has a little bit of magic resist.
It's so hard to calculate when that leap of faith comes down, how much damage you're actually going to be taking from all those tentacles. SeongHwan now for the moment though trying to defend this turret. Ult from the Leona, not going to be finding much. And now he's feeling a little bit more confident. No wraparound coming through here onto Lindarang, however.
Lindarang taking a bit of a dot damage from the Death Stance, of course, as he walks away from that fight. Another recall, another return. The reason why it took so long to kill Lava was the Banshee Veils. They're trying to turn into Sangyoon, who wastes his cleanse.
All the 4-shot comes through. Sangyoon still not under too much threat. TP gets completed. Lindarang comes in with half HP, jumps in, throws down the leap of faith, and just rips apart Ghost. He will die, but not before they trade up for both ADCs on the side of BBQ. Are now running for the hills. Pop-up comes through off the grand entrance. Trick goes down. Lava finds the kill. ROX Tigers just explode right into the mid lane, and they work down 3 members of BBQ.
The double rainbow, the teamfight Illaoi actually works for the first time in the LCK. They turn on to Baron, and this is largely Lindarang making something out of nothing.
Beautiful turnaround there. Lindarang, again, this is what we're talking about. The lack of damage calculation possibilities on that leap of faith. He just rips them apart. Once the Corki and the Varus is gone, it's just head for the hills as fast as you can for BBQ. And Trick, well, he didn't make it far enough, but now it's a Baron over to the ROX Tigers, who reassume control of this game and look to complete a 2-0.
Really excited to see the replay, because at the start, Sangyoon used cleanse on nothing. It looked like he thought it was heal. Let's watch the replay. So Lindarang's backing. They think, okay, we're just going to stop this all. Notice that Sangyoon doesn't even get slowed and uses cleanse. He thinks it's heal to sidestep the Ornn ultimate. So they're down a summoner. There's no Illaoi there either. Illaoi flash ultimate into so many members, able to actually kill Ghost through all of this. The tentacles, the true MVP. Illaoi only controlling them. They kill the Skarner on the back end of it. They get the Baron. Nice stuff from ROX, and something out of nothing by Lindarang.
Yep. And suddenly, largest gold lead we've seen so far in game number 2. Comes forward here for the ROX Tigers. They have 2.5 minutes on this Baron still.
I'm loving the fact that Ghost said, screw this, and went barrier. He's like, the cleanse didn't help me, damn it. I need a barrier.
I need to just survive. I mean, I think that will maybe eat one of those tentacle smashes.
Or
maybe it's the one that makes the difference.
I hope he has a QSS, otherwise a Sejuani ult hits him and he's dead anyway.
Yeah.
But I do appreciate the fact that he was like, this sucks, okay? Got a cleanse now.
Existence is pain.
Speaking of cleanse, Key just cleansed. Okay.
We're just all over the place.
Oh, he didn't cleanse, sorry. That was the Halo there. Looked like a cleanse. My apologies. NA caster. From there, ROX Tigers continue to push in. Oh, sorry, you're the NA caster.
Those are my friends.
No, you're a North American.
I am a North American caster. This is true. Damn.
Hey, something I never
It was a role reversal.
It was, for a moment there.
Yeah.
ROX Tigers cannot break the base. Difficult to do when you have the Illaoi, not another ranged attacker. They don't want to look for a true turret dive, otherwise Ornn ult could just kill everything.
Forge God yet again coming out, trying to dissuade the dive. Ult from the Leona comes through. Big pop-up, however, his trick will just get melted. Lindarang finds another one for the Sejuani. He's low on HP, but he's hovering around the back. Lava goes very far forward, takes a bit of damage, and has to peel back. The minion wave has been thinned out, just going to be the cannon, so ROX actually going to have to retreat.
ROX Tigers going for the greediest route possible. Screw these 3 lanes. Want to push up the mid lane, take it down. The ARAM style, very difficult to do with an Illaoi in the 5.
Still have to respect the Corki if he's alive in the fight. So a lot of damage coming through from him, but now they're going to go ahead and scoop up the Ornn. Gets popped right up. He'll go down as Lava finds the kill. And ROX maybe just going to go ahead, peel back, take the Cloud Drake on the exit, and enjoy that last little bit of Baron buff for their recall.
And credit to Mr. Lava Lava. Walks up, gets the scoop, gets the kill. Very, very nice. They turn it into Cloud Drake as well. All the neutrals piling up, Achilleos. The good feels for BBQ starting to subside. The 2-0 definitely looming.
Really rough stuff. BBQ maybe finding themselves crying into a bucket of chicken later.
There's worse ways to cry.
I mean, that's true. It's, you know, as long as you eat the chicken before you cry on it. Otherwise, it just gets disgusting.
I mean, would it change it that much? Be a bit saltier, I guess.
It'd just be mushy. You know, you want to have that nice crispy.
How many tears are we talking? You sound like a waterfall over there. I don't think a couple of tears are going to actually moisten a piece of Korean fried chicken that much.
Maybe we cry differently. It's just like a faucet turning on.
In my head, you're in a shower crying, and the water is getting on the...
I can't tell what's what.
You need to work on your crying mechanics.
Yeah.
ROX Tigers need to work on closing games with the Baron, because running straight up mid lane was pretty lazy. Illaoi finally back in her old home, the side lane. To push up a minion wave here and actually cause a couple of headaches for the side of BBQ. Can do this, ROX Tigers. 4 members in mid, 1 member in bot lane. Final destination. Let's do it.
Those are bad movies.
They can also put down the Azir turret to make mid lane that much more narrow. All we can hear is Azir talking about his soldiers. He's a big fan. As they're going to group again. Okay, we're diving.
Here we go. Another Forge God coming through. Lockdown in on a trick, but no follow-up this time around. And it's going to be the first one going down is Key as the Ornn finds the kill. Didn't save his life with the Fate's Call. Bit too slow there from Sangyoon as ROX yet again tries to peel back. They get the turret, but at pretty great costs.
I really do not understand why they keep rolling down mid lane as 5 with Illaoi. The teamfight Illaoi has already baited them into thinking they are also a turret destruction Illaoi.
They could have taken the inner turret at top.
I mean, there's so many things they could have done, but ROX Tigers seem to be skipping steps. You know, usually in the LCK, you see every team dot the I's and cross the T's. They just had a series, a game 1, where they did that, but they seem to be very linear and just running down mid lane, hoping a mistake or something presents themselves, and so far it's not working, which is credit to the side of BBQ for some resiliency, but a bit of a question mark on ROX for not being very creative in how you close this game.
Yeah, this is definitely a bit of a departure from the cleanliness of game 1.
That's what happens sometimes when you have such a great performance in game 1. Why is this series not over?
Yeah.
I was told this was best of 1. What's going on here? But so far, ROX need to reevaluate. Maybe the next Baron will be where they find the 5v5, because just sheer turret diving and Ornn, Leona, Varus, Corki, and Skarner comp doesn't sound fun.
That is not that great. Trying to break the spirit there. Tempt can't do it. I believe Sangyoon, yeah, he got the red buff there on the takeaway. Ren does give him that, but red buff's not going to save him from the silly sloppiness of their pushes that we've been seeing here in the last couple minutes.
And there's a team fight. They lose Achilleos. This game continues to go on. It's 3 items on the Corki. It's even more on the side of Ghost. Love the Executioner's calling to try to stop Lindarang from life-stealing his way with the Death Stance and in general the ultimate in a team fight. So we've reached the point after BBQ have found ROX Tigers running it down mid that BBQ could potentially turn around this game. Not something I expected after some of their mistakes earlier where they kind of gained the minimum when they were strong, but out of nowhere, Corki has been able to scale, and that's before the base has been broken, which seemed impossible 5 minutes ago.
Well, yet again, everyone's grouped up here in mid. Or just hovering right around it, clearing out the vision. Baron coming up in 5 seconds. ROX Maybe going for the bait here into the brush.
Well, they really want this.
Comes through, they get the pop-up. Ren stacks building up here, and Trick will get taken out as Sangyoon finds the kill. That was the concise call that they needed to make. They get rid of the Skarner. Brother Trick goes back to the fountain, and ROX are looking at a Baron.
He wants his own cleanse at this point. Trick has been turned on so many times up the front, as he should be. Warmog Skarner still taken down by the focus fire of the ROX Tigers. They can walk up to Baron. They have Kalista and a smite, so they will pick it up. But BBQ, they're still tempted to investigate a fight.
Have a lot of damage here with the Corki. Tempt's going to try to poke them down. Stun comes through. Smite will still register there from SeongHwan. And now they're going to try to turn around the fight looking for BBQ. Sejuani still on cooldown, only halfway up from that one, so can't get the long-range chase. ROX just going to be happy with the objective. With the pick there onto the Skarner, they will go back to base now. Okay,
and now for ROX Tigers, bring up your side waves with the second Baron. Tried to skip steps with the first, but the mid lane turret may have gone down. Nothing else really moved them forward. BBQ back away. They start to push up the minion waves. Let's see ROX Tigers close this game out on the second Baron, because any longer than that, and you have to say that BBQ against an Illaoi comp is going to definitely have the scaling advantage that right now they may already have if ROX Tigers mess up on their engage.
Right now, it seems like maybe the double buff is what ROX is looking for. Lindarang currently hovering around the mid lane, or the river there, rather, towards the bottom side of the map.
It should be fairly uncontested, so there is a chance they're able to do that. Not the highest roll drakes, but enough to at least get the true damage going out.
See if they just catch Trick and kill him again and then take it. That seems to be the theme of the night. SeongHwan's playing around the backside of the pit as everybody else starts building up the damage. They have the Ren stacks, of course, to try to secure this.
Okay, let's see what Skarner can make of this. Trick had a great early game, but so little options.
Yeah, Bastille so low. All the Forge God comes out. They lock him up with the Sedge. Lindarang down to about half HP as they go in. He gets a massive knockup, and Lindarang will find the first kill. As Trick goes down yet again, Lava to follow up. They get rid of the Leona. No one really available there from BBQ to lock up the members of ROX. They get the Elder Dragon. 3 stacks on top of the Baron buff remaining for 2 minutes. ROX going to be looking to finish things out here.
You can see they really have identity problems where this late in the game, Skarner has nothing to pull the team into, so he dies in the front line, and then
with the stopwatch.
And Tempt and Ghost can't do anything. They can't do damage because they're zoned from it from the threats of ROX Tigers, so they choose poor terrain to fight around. The game might just end here, Achilles.
Yeah. We have 5v3, double buff coming through. Ghost already chunked down to half HP. TP there. Comes in from Lindarang to keep the wave alive. They're looking for Crazy. He'll dash away, take himself out to safety as the Redemption comes down just to top the ball right back up. The ROX Tigers want to close it out. Ghost almost gets popped, flashes back into the fountain, will stay alive, but Tempt can't say the same. Lava, the damage from the Azir just too much. The Nexus is exposed as they try to finish this one off. SeongHwan managing to stay alive in the back line. They get rid of Crazy. Trick comes back up. They try to answer a kill, but it's too little, too late. Just shy of 40 minutes on the clock. ROX Tigers complete the 2-0. Damn clean in game 1. Very sloppy in game 2, but they bring it together at the end.
They were also able to play sloppy and still be pretty damn far ahead. So if that's going to be the time that your previously tight playbook does loosen a bit, at least you engineered the latitude to do so. So it still is a 2-0 for ROX. It may not pass the eye test in game 2, but the highs of game 1, and in general the fact that they were always a step ahead of BBQ is something to compliment. And Achilles, this result does mean they leapfrog KSV, and at least for the night, KSV do play tomorrow, but at least for the night, ROX Tigers will be the 4th place team in the LCK, only behind the Afrika Freaks, KT Rolster, and Kingzone Dragon X.
Yeah, the organization, the players, the fans watching here in the audience and at home have to feel pretty darn good about that. Rising towards the top, ROX Tigers. Again, we could not have anticipated this at the beginning of the season, but they are just surpassing all of our expectations in such clean fashion.
I feel like every time we see Sejuani versus Skarner, it's the same, where the Sejuani team starts an objective, ult the Skarner, and take the objective. In this case,
kill him first and then
up,
take it.
just kill him, right? There's 2 different options there. The Elder Dragon was stopped at 4,000 health, so no chance of a steal.
Yeah.
Skarner in week 6 of the LCK has been definitely the famine side of Feast or Famine. It's answered by Olaf, answered just in general by smarter teams. I think we put the Skarner priority at least on the shelf, just like the Evelyn priority a few years ago. It's not working out.
Yeah, seems like people maybe should start shifting away from it. Didn't see it work out for SK Telecom either in their series there for Blossom piloting it. So maybe it's time to go ahead and retire that one, and people can go ahead and now put their gaze over onto the likes of the Olaf, who counters so many other things that we currently have in the meta, such as the Varus.
Let's see if this Olaf meta is a one-day meta, a one-week meta, or a new thing, because we are definitely a fan of the two Olafs, Peanut and Lindarang, that we saw today. I'm a fan of the ROX Tigers as well. I love teams that defy conventional logic and show tight gameplay in Game 1 in general. A step ahead of the meta, really, the whole season. Remember, they were the first Galio team. They brought back the Corki the first time in the wild. They've been inventive in multiple roles, and that's something to embrace. So showing new stuff, tightening on fundamentals, and having players just night and day from where they were a few months ago in summer 2017. It's hype times for the ROX Tigers. 2017, a down year for them. 2018, still to be written, but optimism so far.
Well, a little rough around the edges there for sure here in game number 2, but the neutral objective control by the ROX Tigers was absolutely brilliant. No Barons, very few towers there for BBQ to try to build up their gold. We'll see who our MVP from game number 2 is going to be, and it's Key coming in with that Rakan.
But the big Hundy, the big 100% kill participation, the playmaking happens a lot. You see Font of Life is there as well, very common on Rakan. You go into some of the choices here, you can do quite a lot of creative things with the runes on Rakan if you go Font of Life, and you can have the team-wide application of something like an aura item just on any sort of autos. Pretty common that we see it now, but we're just seeing some of the replays. There's some great playmaking, even in scenarios where it looked like it wasn't going to happen. They were able to turn onto Trick, and sadly, kind of everything this game was, Trick went for a pick, he got picked himself, and objectives went down for the side of BBQ.
Yeah, I mean, even though he missed the Fate's Call, he baited Trick forward. Trick wanted to get that impale to drag him back in.
Does Trick die first in every clip that we watch?
Yes. I do believe so.
Well, this is the last clip, I think. Let's see.
Up. Yep,
there he is.
Yeah, it happened multiple times. This time he wasn't alone in it. Somebody else died alongside him. But, yeah, it was a really rough time there for Trick in both of these games. Couldn't do anything on the J4. Got ran around by the Olaf. Couldn't pick anybody with a Skarner. Olaf is busted, it seems, and Skarner's bad. That's what I've learned from this series. But let's go ahead and hear from the experts as we throw over to Andy with the final translation of the night.
After the great clash, ROX Tigers takes down BBQ Olivers 2-1. We are now sitting down with the two MVP players, Key and Lava of ROX Tigers. Wow, the applause is just amazing. You guys, I heard you guys dyed your hair together. Yes, we did. Yeah, we literally sat down next to each other. I mean, someone dyed my hair for me, but it didn't work out well, so I got an extra one. I think I'm pretty happy with my hair. Taking this clean victory, you guys are now placed 4th in the ranking. You know, now I don't think we are like that fluctuating anymore. We do show consistent performance, and I think we're getting used to it. Lava, these days you're doing countless interviews. You seem pretty relaxed now. You know, I've been getting the MVP a lot of times, and now I'm kind of used to it. Key, you seem a little bit nervous. Just emphasizes how much balanced the team is now. You know, today's performance, the casters have been consistently mentioning that the rotation of ROX Tigers is just perfect. You know, our first match was quite good, but our second match I'm not overly satisfied. Okay, can you talk to us about the Zoe? You know, what did your coaching staff tell you? I mean, our coaches told me to play Zoe, and I did, and it worked out well.
기록을 하고 있어요.
You picked up the 5 consecutive wins with Zoe today.
그중에 3번이나 MVP를 받았고.
You got 3 MVPs out of the 5 Zoe games as well.
뭐 거기에 노하우가 있나 아니면 그냥 감이 좀 살아 있나?
And your pedal star pinpoint accuracy is just perfect.
그냥 스킬이 좀 잘 맞는 것 같아요. 이 스킬이.
예.
You know, I think I'm just good at using the skill shots.
이제 다음 패치 되고 그러면 주력 카드 하나가 뭔가 없어지는.
You know, next patch Zoe is getting nerfed a lot, so I guess you're gonna lose comfort pick.
피지 같은 것도 잘하고.
You know, Lava's pretty good on Fizz as well, so I'm not too worried.
더 좋은 패치가 적용된 것
So I think the patch is gonna be pretty beneficial to us.
어차피 새로운 카드도 많이 준비되어 있다.
그렇죠.
I guess you have a lot of good cards on your back.
그래서 1세트 또 이 조이의 멋진 활약 장면을 안 보고 넘어갈 수.
Okay, let's have a look at the highlight reel.
이거 좋았어요.
Oh, this one was perfect.
살랑살랑 걸어가서 그냥
Literally just crawled in and hit all your skill shots and took the first blood.
네, 이게 위쪽으로 돌아서 가면 이게 좀 잘 당해주더라고요 탑플러들이.
You know, I found out that this route is actually really useful when you going for a gank.
저 장면이 사실 굉장히 컸고 또 탑도 잘 풀어주게 되는 그런
You know, this gank did actually help the top laner a lot.
언급하긴 했지만 요즘 린다랑 성환 라바가 이 상체 라인이 무슨 아침까지
You know, Lindarang, SeongHwan, Lava, these 3 players are really instrumental to ROX Tigers win these days.
건지 모르겠지만 일단 깨있긴 하거든요.
그러면 또 궁금한 게
그러면
상현 선수와 키 선수는 뭐
하세요?
What does Sangyoon and Ki do?
잠을 청하는데 네.
I mean, we literally get on the carry bandwagon.
할땐 하고 이제 가끔씩은 이제 좀 쉬긴 해요.
할 걸 한다.
그럼 진짜 라바 선수
So you guys are saying that you do your job.
노는 거예요, 뭐 어떻게 되는 거예요?
할 때도 있고 놀 때도 있지만 6시까지는 놀 때가 더 많은 것 같아요.
You know, we do practice a lot and we don't have much time to play.
약간 또 과장을 하실 때가 있으니까.
네, 그것도 조금 없지 않아 있으신
놀고 있는데 누가 봐도 노는 건데.
그렇죠, 예.
우리 팀 6시까지 연습한다.
Yeah, we practice till 6 o'clock apparently.
그렇죠, 그렇습니다. 사실 1세트 뭐 여러 가지 픽들도 있었습니다. 조이 픽도 있었고.
In the first set, there were a lot of interesting picks, like Zoe and Olaf.
선수가 되게 아쉬워할 것 같아요. MVP 뭐 자기가 받았어야 되지 않냐 이러면서.
And I think
어떤 얘기를 했어요?
one of your teammates would be really sad that he didn't get the MVP.
일단은 성환이가 그 연습 때 올라프를
I mean, SeongHwan
했는데
did play a lot of Olaf in the scrims, and he was good.
먼저 쓰면은 내가 MVP 됐는데 앞에서
And he did expect to get an MVP, but sadly he couldn't.
내 건데 하면서 약간 아쉬워하더라고요.
You know, he was kind of sad.
왜 이렇게 왔죠?
그러니까 본인이 원래 먼저 썼으면 이거 내가 MVP를 받는 건데 앞에서 약간 다른 팀이 써서 이제 MVP를 받아서 약간 김이 샜다. 뭐 이런 좀
So he thought he would get the MVP, but Peanut used Olaf so well in the previous game that he probably couldn't get it.
정말 뭐 계속 대치 상황도 많이 나왔고 본인들 스스로도
You know, a lot of skirmishes.
이런 평가를 해주셨는데 실제로 게임 구도 어떻게 생각하시나요?
How do you view the game?
켄치를 밴하고 바루스, 레오나 이렇게 스카너 이렇게 CC가 좀 많은 챔피언.
You know, Tom Kench was banned, and then the enemy took Leona and Varus and like those sissy heavy champions. And I picked Rakan to counter the composition.
예, 그리고 어쨌든 또 핫했던 픽 중 하나가 일라오인데.
You know, one of the hot pick was the Illaoi.
많이 나오지도 않았지만 나올 때
And it's not a pick that is usually seen in the LCK.
뭐 자신이 있었던 건가요?
So,
오른 상대를 일라오이를
do you think Lindarang had confidence in the pick?
만능 형이 항상 저렇게 잘해줬어요.
Yeah, apparently Illaoi does perform really well against Ornn, and Lindarang is really good at it. So I think it worked out well.
일라오를 쓸 것이다 했는데 마침 또 오른이 나왔고 일라오로 한타 때 굉장히 멋진 모습을.
So in the team fight, Lindarang was really strong.
한타 장면 시원했거든요 오늘.
And let's have a look at the highlight reel.
아 기가 막혔습니다.
키 선수가 항상 뭔가 선봉장에
He you just engage so perfectly, and then your teammates follow up, and you guys just dish out everyone.
안 죽으면서도 이니시 잘하는 그 각을 봐야 될 것 같아요.
You know, I engage really well, and then I don't die, so I think it's pretty good.
서로 이니시 거는 형들이 많아서 좀 되게 편할 것 같기도 해요.
네, 저는 딜하기 되게 편하죠.
So Lava, you must be pretty happy that your teammates engage so well. Yes, I am.
선수가 형인 것 같기도 하고 느낌이 지금 약간 그래서 지금 커뮤니티 반응도
So now,
너무 잘하는 것 같아요.
according to community, they are all praising ROX Tigers for their performance.
시작되기 전에 사실은 많은 그 예측들을 하잖아요. 그래서 전문가들이나 팬들도
You know how we make the match predictions,
승강전 쪽으로 가지 않을까.
and the predictions were inclined towards ROX Tigers going for the relegations.
그럴 때마다 뭐 어떻게 좀 생각을 하셨는지.
So what do you think about that?
뭐 지금에
저희도 근데 저희도 처음 시작할 때는 이제 승강전 약간 위험할 것 같다.
I mean, when we started off, we were kind of worried,
많이 나아진 것 같아요.
but now we aren't that worried.
예, 뭐 하실 말씀 있으세요?
Would you like to say something, Key?
아니고 이제 포시를 보고 있기 때문에 저희는 네, 그런 걱정하지 않고 이제 가고 있습니다.
Yes, we're not worried at all, and we are fully confident that we can place high.
결혼을 롤드컵에 가야 결혼을 한다는 발언을 철회하지 않고 계시기 때문에 롤드컵에 가셔야 돼요. 나중까지 계속해서 뭔가 그런 자신감 있으세요 이번 연도?
Do you guys want to qualify for Worlds?
계속 안 좋은 거 보완하면서 하면은 저희가
You know,
충분히
if we just
그
self-reflect on ourselves and improve, I think we can easily qualify for Worlds.
귀엽는 것이 또 귀엽고 잘하는 모습을 보여주기 때문에 또 많은 팬분들이 이렇게 열광하는 게 아닌가.
You know, because you guys play so passionately and so energetically, the fans are pretty happy.
선수분들 가족분들도 굉장히 많이 오셨거든요.
네.
You know, your families visited here today as well. Would you like to say a few words to your family?
응원해주신 팬들 너무 감사하고 저희
Thank you to the fans.
열심히 해서 좋은 성적 낼 테니까
And we'll try hard
열심히 해주세요.
for better performance. Thank you.
키 선수도.
And Kiyu,
그 이제 저희 2라운드 이제 거의 중반인데
you know, we are now around halfway,
좋은 성적 거둬가지고 꼭 보답하겠습니다. 감사합니다.
so we will keep on the consistent performance and show great performance.
네. 이렇게 또 많은 팬분들이 응원을 해주고 계십니다.
Lots of fans today. Lots of fans today.
4위까지 오른 락스 타이거즈 진심으로
ROX plays now. ROX now plays fourth, and we look forward to their future matches. And that is the end of the interview.
Thank you very much, Annie, for the translation here throughout the week, as Joel has been absent. He is elsewhere, casting another esports title. But ROX Tigers, they walk away with a 2-0 victory here today. As anticipated, you would have to say, after their win over KT Rolster, game 2 a little bit more hard fought, but by the end, they kind of got it together. They realized, all right, we just killed Trick and we take everything.
Isn't it nice that we can anticipate things of the ROX Tigers again? It's been a year and a
good
bit
things
till this happened, exactly. And they find themselves fourth, a well-deserved fourth compared to KSV, who started strong and have largely fallen away. KSV play tomorrow. Their fans of the world champions are worried they might not even make playoffs, Achilleos.
Yeah.
I would say they've been definitely worse performing than SKTT1 in recent memory. There's still always this time. Every time I see a KSV match, I'm sitting there thinking, is this the time that the world champions show up? But it's been about a month and a bit before we've seen that. It's time to get started, because the business end of the season is only 3 weeks after they play tomorrow.
Well, ROX, they want to maintain this form, try to stay as consistent as possible, and maybe even threaten FLICKR for a top 3 spot. That'd be something else here for these guys. But it's already been a great season for them, so certainly could be possible. Next week's schedule, however, coming up. Got some spicy matches coming for you guys here.
Gangnam Stadium on Tuesday, SK Telecom T1 versus Kingzone Dragon X.
And then just 2 days later, we have the Telecom War coming back in. KT defeated by ROX Tigers. SK Telecom still up and down. How's it going to go?
That's an even better day at Achilleos, because the second match is a FLICKR Freaks against ROX Tigers. And the FLICKR Freaks and ROX Tigers are in playoff contention. Both of them fighting, like you say, for third. So there's a lot of hype matchups next week, and there's only 3 weeks later, guys. If you're wondering why SKT's there 3 times, it's because, of course, they play on the last day of this week, tomorrow, before they roll into next week's action. So for OGN days, skipping a couple over to Wednesday, JNEC Hongdu is the first match there, but this is the one to watch. Thursday, the Telecom War into a playoffs war. That's one to catch.
Yeah, I believe you and I will be here for that one, Papa Smithy, and we're going to have to strap in, because that is going to be a stacked day of League of Legends then to round it out. MVP versus IgNar, a bit closer than you might have anticipated nowadays, and then KT Rolster versus KSV as
Really
well.
interesting second match, because KSV would have played 2 times before that match. They need to show something, otherwise it's so weird. We really might have the world champions miss out on the gauntlet, which is insanity. We said the same thing about SKT, who snuck in 5th spot last year, you remember, in summer. KSV need to turn it around now, otherwise it really doesn't feel like we know where they're going to land. I feel like I'm more confident about ROX Tigers' position than I am KSV.
Yeah, it's been really up and down for those guys. I mean, the consistency that we would normally see from Ruler, from Core JJ in the bottom lane, it's not there. Crown has been falling. Cuve been falling, and it seems like they're not sure which jungler to bring out either, with Haru and Ambition constantly swapping them through. There's just no consistency on the performance, on the roster, And if you're a KSV fan, you honestly have to be concerned about these guys making it into the playoffs. Maybe we go back to spring 2016 when they weren't in the gauntlet.
Who's the bus driver? Right, feels like they don't have any Achilles. That's
No.
the worry there.
It's been rough stuff. But that's it from myself and Papa Smithy here at OGN for the week. We'll be back for more LCK action next week. We'll see you guys then. Have a good weekend.
Trust that able, you just might die. From my sweet child.